And then it happened again the following game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you can't jinx us again, can you?
What's up, Kings fans? I'm Rodney. He's Rob. He's Mike. And this is LA Kings Fan Talk, where we know nothing. All right, boys. After blowing a third period lead and losing to the Jets last Thursday, the day has finally arrived. We can talk Kings hockey after a win. Not just a win, back-to-back wins versus the
Back to
Canadiens
back, baby.
and the Sabres. So the question is, what has changed? Rob, why are we winning?
Because the teams we've played really aren't all that good. Is my first knee-jerk reaction. I think Montreal is terrible. And Buffalo's pretenders. You know, they didn't magically get really good after being so terrible. You don't not play your captain and your best player, sit them all out, and then all of a sudden they're good. I think their adrenaline rush to start the season's over, and I think we played two crappy teams and we beat them. But that's a good sign.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Yep.
Mike, what do you think?
I agree with Rob.
Whoa!
Also, I mean, think about it. Like, the teams we played the first couple games are all playoff teams from last year. So, that helps. I think there was a big shock factor losing Doughty and Walker not back-to-back games, but all in one road trip. So maybe that affected the team. But some of the younger guys get a bigger opportunity, and they're taking advantage of it, right?
You don't think it has anything to do with the 1 p.m. start time?
That's a first.
Right. It's a new Kings team.
We there's some easy answers that we can say. We can sit there and say, Brendan Lemieux, we're 3-0. The reason why we're winning is because Brendan Lemieux's in the lineup. But you don't say that about a fourth liner. But all kidding aside,
He's 3-0.
he's 3-0, right?
Right. Undefeated.
And he put a good whipping on the Buffalo guy, too.
That's why I say Kings are a better team when they have guys named Gretzky or Lemieux in their lineup.
Boy, Rodney teed you up, Mike. You're slipping. He teed you up. Why are we winning? There's a guy that has scored in both those wins that I've been very harsh on, the guy that you have a bromance with, and you didn't take the opportunity to sit there and say, because I follows the best player on our team.
Oh, you're going that route?
I thought you were going to go that route.
I was tracking everything you were saying, and then you said I follow, and I was like, whoa. Remember I was talking about Kapari, and you were like, I didn't see Kapari. And how's he looking now?
I still didn't see him in the game you were talking about, but I love Kapari. He's one of the young kids that I'm super excited to see play, and. Well, I mean, I don't know. Are we going to get into a segment where we're going to talk about
this is the segment right here? It's what one player has impressed you the most on this current homestand. Who wants to go first?
Kapari's like taking advantage of that opportunity that was there for Velarde to take advantage of, but he didn't. So Kopitar, Dano, 1-2 centers, third line center. It's going to be easier for them because they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And Velarde was primed to take that spot, and Kapari got a chance, and he's running with it.
Yep. Clegg.
Yeah.
I think. Wow, you lose a superstar like Drew Doughty, you lose your next offensive capable defenseman in Sean Walker, and now we're kind of floundering, and it's so hard to say one. But with Clegg, and I'll tell you what, Bjornfoot has been so good these last couple of games.
Oh, so now you're going to take mine. I was going to say Toby.
Well, I'm just Bjornfoot. It's that's why I'm saying it's mean of you to say one player.
It is, but I know that you guys are really good with the hard questions. So if anybody can answer a hard question, it's you two. So.
That's what she said. But of the two, I'm a Clegg fan. I liked him last year. I think he can be an NHL defenseman. I really do. So hopefully he continues.
Yeah, these injuries are like a blessing in disguise. Hopefully, people keep stepping up.
Yeah, I mean it's an opportunity for people to step up. So keep going, Rod.
Yeah, going
No,
back to
yeah, Rodney, go ahead. Tell us about Bjornfoot.
going to Bjornfoot, stepping up his offensive game. I'm like, who's his number 7 out there? He's now what, +3 for the season on this Kings team. That's pretty impressive. Only a couple assists so far, but there's been plenty of plays where he's getting open on the back door and the Kings just don't see him, or they cannot get him the puck. But he's finding the right spots. So I'm hoping eventually that they can come get him the puck over there.
Say, and he's only 20 years old, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's pretty advanced for a 20-year-old defenseman.
Yeah, Clegg and Bjornfoot both looking really good.
Yep. I want to talk about not keeping it just to one. There's, I think, a couple things that have stood out to me with the way we played. Right after Mike publicly shames Mikey Anderson for getting his jockstrap taken off, he threw a couple body checks. He's physical play, his stepping up, and he's looking a lot more. I think maybe he did feel a little embarrassed about what happened, and he just said, what, screw it. I'm going to be a lot more focused, a lot more forceful in my decisions and when I'm going to be physical. And he does look physical out there. I saw him put a couple guys in good old hip checks. He had a couple good hip checks. You don't see those too often.
He had a couple timely poke checks too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's out there getting it. We're going to talk line changes.
Let's talk about line changes.
Kaliev, when he was the period he spent with Kopitar and Brown, I actually liked it. But I'm still going to double down on what I said in our very, very first preview. I wouldn't have minded to see Kempe up in that first line. Keep Kaliev in that third line, because I don't want to sound like I'm just regurgitating what Jim Fox says on the pregames or anything like that. But there is some chemistry being built with Kupari and Kaliev. When it was Kupari, Kaliev, and Moore, that line, it looked good for a third line, especially with two young kids on it. And I'm all thinking, wow, give them 10 games together, give them 20 games, and let it develop, and still let our top 6 be the top 6 and mix them up around. And so I was happy to see Kaliev up there with Kopitar, but I don't think that's the right move yet still, because looking forward for the next 10 years, I think it would be great as a Kings fan to see Kupari and Kaliev together, kind of take over, Brown, Kopitar kind of things, whatnot. And there's going to be so many, because we are so deep down in the minors, there's going to be so many little tiny combinations that I think are going to be exciting to watch over the coming years. And here's one developing right in front of our eyes right now, not, oh, wait 3 years. This is right now in our face. So I'm hoping that kind of goes back together.
Yeah, they're going to hold the fort down until my boy Chromiak makes it up. That's going to be a couple years, though.
So, I mean, speaking of line changes, I mean, with Velarde, with him scratched, how do you guys think that's going to work out going forward?
We called that, didn't we? Didn't we call even him getting sent down? We were talking about that. You brought it up. Yeah. The -5. Has he earned the right to, I guess not. I guess that question was answered real quick, wasn't it?
Right. Definitely in coach's doghouse. The question is how does that affect him mentally? Like, is he starting to think his time with the Kings is done? How is he going to take being sent down in the rain? Are we looking to use him as a trade partner for something?
I hope not. I still think he's fantastic. And I don't know, maybe it's my fan goggles on, but that little bit of time he spent on the wing, I was like, oh, this another thing we talked about, right?
Right.
He looked like he knew what he's doing on the wing. And then he gets scratched. It's like, damn it. Give him more time.
It's almost like Kings management and players listen to our podcast. I mean, Velarde
No.
on the wing, Anderson stepping up his game. What's going on?
No, I think you know who I think listens though. I think Kaliev's little brother listens. Like, but he's still back in Uzbekistan.
I think you may be right.
He commented. Check the comments.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if they keep winning, they'll win a couple more games. Like, where does Velarde fit back in? Because he's not a fourth liner. So, like, to put him on the fourth line, it's kind of a waste, And the fourth line looks good with Lemieux down there and Anderson. And then Lizotte or whoever else you want to fill in there. So, I don't know where he's going to fit.
I think he fits in on a line with Elias Anderson and Martin Ferk. When other injuries happen.
In Ontario or what?
Grundstrom, the problem with Velarde coming back and where he's fitting in is if Grundstrom's going to chip in a goal every other game or whatnot, that's where you start going.
And play physical.
Yeah, and be a little physical. But I do like Grundstrom, but I would like to see Velarde there on that third line.
Yeah, before Grundstrom scored that goal and before he started playing a little better, I'm like, I think he's the odd man out. They'll probably throw him on waivers to try to get him back down to the Reign so they can make room for Double A, who's supposed to come off. Isn't he supposed to be activated on Wednesday or so?
Does he have 2 goals now?
Yes, Grundstrom has 2.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know who they're going to...
One more than Velarde and playing on fourth line minutes.
Right.
Some third line.
Well, how is this? Yeah.
And how many less games?
Yeah.
One more. He has one more than Kempe, too, then. He has the same as Arvidsson. Speaking of which, he did score and then is out. Talk to me, moderator. Is he out because of COVID or is he out because he's hurt?
He's out because
he's out because of COVID.
Oh, because of COVID.
Oh,
but speaking of Arvidsson, really quick.
And Velarde's out because of COVID now, too.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, back to this COVID thing. Screw the St. Louis Blues.
Right?
Those played us, and then after they played us, they go, oh, by the way, we got 6 guys with COVID.
Right.
And then now we're surprised. Now we're surprised that Velarde and Arvidsson has some COVID.
Right.
Didn't we take a trip out there last year too? And then Athanasio got stuck with COVID after the game when he was stuck in St. Louis. Am I remembering that wrong?
There in St. Louis.
Ooh. Somebody fact check that for me, but sounds very shady if that's true.
Screw the Blues. Speaking of St. Louis Blues, who will we play next?
Wednesday night. I believe this is the last time we play the Blues this season.
Thank God.
Wednesday night, right? So no more COVID after this month.
There's 2 things me and Mike agree on wholeheartedly. Our feelings about Clegg and our feelings about Alex Faust. So
it's like every game. It was like every game.
He's anti-King. He really is. He sits there. 2-1 penalty reminds me of how we lost the last game. And then sure enough. And then it happened again the following game.
Right.
It's like, you can't jinx us again, can you?
It was almost like he was saying it and enjoying saying it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He enjoys it too much.
Let's talk about Iafallo.
I will love Iafallo if he continues this pace. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't even have to be this pace. If he scores just 1 goal every 3 games, he has value in our lineup. And guys that have value in our lineup are guys that I really, really appreciate. So as of right now, I like and appreciate Alex Iafallo as of today.
Wow.
So what if he does not score 1 goal, but he has 3 assists in the next 3 games?
Depends on how those assists are coming. But
primary
yes,
versus
there are possibilities. There are possibilities because if he's assisting, then that means Danault or Kempe are scoring. Hopefully, it's not just on the power play stuff. And those are 2 guys that value-wise, they need to start scoring every 3 games as well.
Is it safe to say that Iafallo is currently out of Rob's doghouse? Currently.
As of today, He is out of the doghouse. And, you know, 3.5 games, you know, because if you sit there and go one every 4 games, you're looking at a 20 goal score. And that's probably where he's getting paid at 4 million a year. Okay, you're looking at 20 goal scorer. But to have true value, I'd like to see it get up there to 25 to 30.
So where does Kempe fit with this $2 million contract?
Right. That's why, see, I always mention Kempe, but I don't really go hard on the damn it. He needs this, he needs this, he needs, because the value is still kind of there, but it's starting to get to a point where, well, how much value is 1 goal in 10 games? You know, it's like he's going to end up with 8 goals on the season.
Right.
And he playing top 6 minutes. And
Yeah.
that's also part of the equation. How many minutes are you playing? You know, what's being relied upon? And I think the Kempe, just his size, what we talk about many years, Rodney, that jersey that flaps in the wind when you skate.
Right.
And to see him wearing number 9 too, kind of reminds you a little bit of a Mike Modano. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Left-handed, flying down the wing, jersey flapping.
The hair flowing.
Hair flipping.
Kempe's just not scoring. But at $2 million, he will get a little wiggle room where I won't use the hate word or anything like that, or he needs to go. But clock's ticking. He's 25. Clock is ticking.
So what if he keeps his same pace and then the Kings re-sign him at 3 years, $3 million? You think it's still a good signing?
3 years, $3 million for his potential, I won't go ape shit about. 3 million's nothing, you know, but so is only 10 goals a season's nothing.
Yeah, at that point, he'll probably
but I think that contract just primes him to fit nicely into like the third line.
I think that depends on how the other players do. If he gets pushed out of the lineup because he's only scoring 10 goals a year, that might not even happen.
Yeah.
Here's something for you guys. What are you guys' thoughts on Kachev being sent down to the Reign? Mike.
I think he's getting stuck as just a power play specialist, but the points aren't there to justify keeping him up. And I don't know if he just doesn't have the right line mates to where it would work out, but he could probably use a little time in the minors as long as he stays. And it seems like he hasn't left for Russia yet, so it's very possible. I don't know. He looks small out there, and he doesn't play gritty enough at that height, and he's not putting up points. So, and again, it could be the line he's on. It wasn't working because he looks dangerous on the power play. You just got to find a way. But he's not, and again, he's not putting up enough points as just a power play specialist.
Any chance Coach McClellan watched Red Dawn as a kid and secretly hates Russians and doesn't really give them a chance? You know, Kovalchuk, Kachev.
Kachev going down. He just needs to learn the North American game a little. It might be a half a season fix. It might be a whole season. Who knows? But the kid definitely has skill.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it'll translate sooner or later. Maybe he'll go down, get better, and then we could see him right back. But there's just so many. We're still broken record here. So many kids that need chances. You know, windows are closing, doors are slamming. You better do something with your opportunities that you're getting, because other guys are going to get opportunities.
And maybe that's something that Clegg recognized this year. That, hey, this is my window. Like, I got to do everything I can to stick. Because if he keeps this pace up, by the time Doughty comes back, I mean, Walker's not coming back, so there's a good chance he can stick on the team.
I sure hope so, because this is probably Clegg's last chance, at least with the Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to talk about a 23-year-old defenseman.
Right.
This is your last chance. Holy crap.
Right. Let's talk about the Kings power play, because Clegg is looking good on power play 1. What do you guys think about the changes?
power play, like I have stated before, not going to talk crap about when we're scoring. Figured it out a little bit. I kind of noticed the little system they got going on. Kaliev's goal was just a mirror image of Kupari's power play goal, where they do a little circle at the blue line, get the puck moving forward, skate into the circle, and then let their just stud of a shot just rip. And Kupari's was bar down, the back bar down. Kaliev just, he gets so much. It's a different level, man. It's just, he's just built different.
He gets so much on that shot.
Kind of reminds me of my shot a little bit, but Ryan McNichol knows how good my shot is.
Wow! Shout out to Ryan.
Name drop.
What up, Ryan?
I was at the game Sunday, and I remember one of his shots, and I just could hear it hitting the goalie pad, like from the 300s, and I was like, "It's a hard shot."
Yeah.
What are you doing in the 300s, Mike? Aren't you VIP whenever you roll into Staples? You wanted to hang out with the real hockey fans for a night, or what?
It's the free tickets, man.
I hear you. I did the same thing for the game against the Jets.
Yeah, and you were sitting in the suite.
Well, those weren't my seats. I just have access to the suite. But
Yeah.
I threw Rob's name down, and I got in there.
Shh, don't tell people that. I do want to talk about, I mean, we're getting pretty good at what we talk about. Things are happening like almost right away. It's like, wow, we just talked about that, and our last podcast, I was saying, hey, we don't, we're 1-4, and if we can win the next 3 games in a row, we'll be 500 and where we need to be. Well, we won 2 of the 3.
Right.
And there is a little sigh of relief going, okay, maybe win the next 2 out of 3 again and be where we're supposed to be. And instead of the panic button of, oh my God, we suck. Because that's where we were, rightfully so.
Also, Rob, remember we for the 5-game homestand, you were asking for 1 point, so we got your 1 point. I was asking for 5, so 1 more point.
Yeah,
we got what we asked.
All right. If you're the coach of the Kings, the Activate AA, he plays on Wednesday night. Where do you plug him in the lineup?
I don't think he plays. Why would you put him in?
Ooh, okay, I got it.
Who are you taking out?
Okay, Kaliev back to the third line with Trevor Moore and Kupari.
Oh, I forgot Arvidsson's out.
Grundstrom, love you, bro, but and then AA is up there with Kopitar and Brown. Get him going. Top line, get him going.
Rodney, what do you think of the game when you went the Jets game? Just the atmosphere.
Very quiet. I was very disappointed. It's almost I'm used to, when we go with 30 of us, the loud Kings fans, and it was super quiet, but it was also half empty. So I don't know if that's half of what it was.
Really? So I went on Sunday, and no, it felt like empty, like you said, like half full.
Right. And I thought Sunday would be better, a weekend, but
it just felt weird. Like, I don't know. After I was like thinking back, like, do I really want to go back? Like,
no, the only time you'd hear people cheering is if the Kings scored a goal or if there was some artificial, somebody pumping up the Kings,
drum line.
But it was really quiet. A little bit embarrassing from LA fans, to tell you the truth. All right, everyone. Don't forget to spear that like button, subscribe, elbow that notification bell. Until next time, go Kings, go.